Hey guys, welcome to the latest episode of the SaaS Sessions podcast. Today we have Vartika Verma on the show. She's currently the VP of Global Marketing at Yellow Messenger. It's a conversational AI platform which helps enterprises automate their core business functions like sales, marketing, ITSM support, procurement, and more. Yellow Messenger recently was featured in India's top startups along with Whatfix. With over 14 years of experience, she has previously worked with companies like Payoneer, Hike Messenger, DirectI, and more. Vartika, such a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thanks, Sunil. Glad to be here.
Awesome. So I gave a very short and very crisp intro about you, but can you tell us more about yourself and how has your journey been like through different companies like DirectI, Hike, Payoneer, and now recently with Yellow Messenger, right? And how did you get into the world of SaaS?
Great, Sunil. Thank you so much for the brief introduction. It's pretty much the most exciting time at Yellow Messenger. Given that everything we are under lockdown, etc. So I'm glad that we are making good headway in terms of acquiring new customers, launching in new markets, winning awards. It's been really a pleasure. When I joined the company, we were at about 100 employee size. Today we're at 450 in less than 1.5 years. So it's been quite
Mm-hmm.
an exciting journey. Yeah, so talking a little bit about myself, I'm a commerce student by background in school, and then I chose to do my graduation in advertising and mass media. And later I did my PGPX from UCLA Anderson, California. And I started working alongside college way back in Bombay. So I started working in ad agencies. After my college would end around 3, 4 p.m., I would go and work in the ad agencies till about 9, 10 p.m. And that was really important for me because I wanted to really explore what I wanted to do in an agency. Did I want to be in copywriting? Did I want to be in account management? Or did I want to be in strategic planning? And that was a great experience while interning with a couple of esteemed agencies like Lolintas, O&M, Euro RSCG. One thing I realized is that
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to be in an ad agency after all. So that was a good thing to clarify, before really graduating from college. And what I realized is that when you're working in an agency, you look at things from a campaign to campaign perspective, and you don't really get
Mm-hmm.
the whole feel of how the brand is growing, what are their challenges overall, right? You just have one piece of the puzzle that you're trying to solve. So
Go.
that's when I decided that I wanted to be on the brand side of things. And one of my professors in marketing told me to not join marketing directly, but to get into sales first.
Oh, yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
that's a great piece of advice that I got way back
Mm-hmm.
because without really understanding sales, I think I would not have been the kind of marketer that I am today.
Mm-hmm.
So understanding, how to pitch, how to cold call, I think I lost all my inhibitions of, reaching out and talking to people. So my first job after college was at DirectI, and DirectI is one of the best companies, to work for. They really invest their time in training their employees. So for the first 6 months, we had rigorous training on, subjects like DNS, hosting, SMTP servers. So we were really trained well on, the whole backend technology. And that training really helped when, we started talking to, real customers because we could understand their lingo, their pain points, and also solution for them on the go. So
Mm-hmm.
I worked with DirectI for about 4 years, where I also launched the brand Big Rock, and it was one of the first companies to campaign in India to actually get the internet to brands and enterprises. So back then we would tie up with a lot of .net.com registries, do campaigns, and really grow the space of internet about 12, 15 years back.
Mm-hmm.
And
Nice.
it was very interesting, right from the time when we were creating awareness about what is internet to the time today where everybody is living and breathing the internet. So
Yeah.
it's been an honor to see that journey, through 12, 14 years. And my experience at DirectI really clarified that I wanted to be on the tech side of marketing. So I've been working with different kinds of tech companies, whether it's a chat company, whether it's a payment company, or whether it's into e-commerce. So when I was more recently researching on what do I want to do next, I thought, okay, I've done .com, .net, I've done app marketing, I've done a bit of serious payment selling. and now what is next for me? And I took a short break to really figure out where I wanted to go next. And one thing that was really very exciting was the space of conversational AI. And just look at
Mm-hmm.
ourselves as customers. We are always talking to brands, and we know that it's not only a human, like only when it's really premium, like American Express. I know that when I call them, there is a person attending to me. But when I call Airtel, I don't want the person to attend to me. I just want my resolution.
Right.
So I figured that I'm myself a consumer of conversational AI even before, joining this company, and in so many ways, right from, using maps to, ordering online to getting support online to basically even, filing HR queries, etc. So in some ways or the other, I think I was a consumer first, and then I decided to be a marketer in this space.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always been a B2C marketer before this, like maybe 4 years I have spent into partial B2C to B kind of a domain. However, when I was speaking to our CEO and co-founder Raghu, he said that he didn't want people from only SaaS and B2B line of business because that would restrict the marketing thinking cap, which I
Right.
found really interesting. And I was honored to get the opportunity to build the marketing team here ground up. This is in August 2019.
Right.
And since then, a lot of my perceptions about what is B2B marketing, what is SaaS, has completely changed, when I really dug into it. And it's a more sophisticated market for sure. And at Yellow Messenger, we are looking at the global market. So, sitting in our Bangalore office, we have to think about customers who are in the US, Europe, Middle East, Southeast Asia, and not just work on the brand part of things, but also the product part of things, the sales part of things. So being a startup, you get an exposure into as many things as you want to. So we were when we were setting up the early team, we realized that we don't want to go very big on spending dollars without really seeing an ROI on it. So we started small, and we built our partnership layer very strongly. So we are in deep partnership with companies like Facebook, WhatsApp, Microsoft, Cognizant, Accenture. So in some places we are tech and R&D partners. In some places we are the GTM partners. And I think that built our base of figuring out what solutions do large and mid-market companies really need into the platform before really going big and marketing it.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say, in April this year, we raised our funding Series B, and it's after that we really started focusing on, inbound marketing in a bigger way. Before that, it was more of, getting customers via partners, learning, building the platform, and it was a great way to grow because it's a very organic growth. The kind of customers that we have from way back would be, let's say, Bajaj,
Mm-hmm.
HDFC, Schlumberger. Like these are companies who chose us for the company vision that we were building, 1-2 years back,
Got it.
which
Mm-hmm.
always has, put us in the spot of thinking 20% of what it is today and 80% of what it will be in 5 years. And
Mm-hmm.
that kind of thinking is very different in B2B versus B2C. B2C, you are more worried about the now. And in
Got it.
B2B, you are more worried about, the vision and the 5-year roadmap. So it's
Totally.
been an interesting change and a very pleasant change, I'd say.
That's really great, and it's an interesting journey for you, I could imagine, and like calculating each step for yourself, right? And thinking about just like how you mentioned, like B2B is thinking about the future. I think being into SaaS is also about the future because SaaS is like growing so rapidly in India, and I think COVID has been a catalyst, for SaaS businesses to like really outlimit their potentials in India, right? And you said one thing, which is you were into sales and before, and then you went into marketing as advised by one of your professors, right? So
Right.
most of the people don't get this opportunity to be into sales first and then transition into marketing. So what are some of the learnings that you can give to those people, right, who are currently into marketing but never got a chance to be into sales, right? So what are some of the learnings that you got from sales and that you're applying in marketing as well? It might be the mindset, it might be some processes, it might be some way that you approach to things.
Sure. So, Sunil, one thing that you learn in sales is that customer is always right.
Uh-huh.
And
Mhm.
the way branding used to work 10 years back was always like, okay, this is what I want to position my brand as. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that gap is something, which can be filled if you think of things from the sales perspective as well. So for example, you may be positioning yourself as a conversational AI platform. However, the market is responding to chatbots. Something as simple as that can actually change a lot of things in the way the organization overall is perceived. So basically, sales, being in sales, has really helped me understand the customer perspective and put it into a marketing plan. And the other thing is that when you are in the marketing team, you have multiple customers. Even your
Mm-hmm.
sales team is your customer.
Right.
So understanding their pain point is as necessary as understanding the customer's pain point.
Got
So,
it.
for example, is the sales team having trouble in sort of pitching XYZ solution? So, what from a marketing angle can you really solve for? So, I think I got a lot of empathy for salespeople. It
Mm-hmm.
also humbled me a lot because there is a lot of work that goes in sales. Because once you get the person in a funnel, everything else is sales. So that itself, gave me a lot of humility and understanding of the other side of business, and which basically, if you apply to your work, you'll have a better sales team as your customer, which is really important for you to sort of grow as a marketer, especially in the SaaS domain.
Got it. That's really interesting, and that's I think that's a good insight, all marketers can have. And so talking about customer service, right, which is one domain or one space which Yellow Messenger is really thriving in. So, like, according to you, or you would have done a lot of research, like Yellow Messenger also would have done a lot of research on this particular space in India. So, according to you, what's the current state of customer service in India?
So, Sunil, this is like a global thing. Like India is no different than when we talk to our customers in US, Europe,
Yeah,
South
yeah.
Asia.
Mm-hmm.
So, what we're seeing is that even today, customer support or customer success leaders are facing twin challenges of, one is of improving customer service and operational excellence. And the second one is while optimizing costs in the short term. So they can't have strategies in which they are only improving customer service and increasing their cost.
Mm-hmm.
And they can't even compromise on customer experience while optimizing the cost. So this is a twin challenge which becomes very, very hard to sort of solve for, especially in a market where, a lot of these brands are working on legacy systems which work in silos. So what is that one thing which can sort of, unify it all? And given COVID-19 pandemic, many people were not able to, even offer customer support and service when, the systems broke down. So, for
Mm-hmm.
example, if Bajaj Allianz has a large, customer support center where there are a lot of agents, the agents were not able to come to work, and the company was not able to provide for work from home kind of accesses, devices. So it did get disrupted in some sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that is where we saw that a lot of transformation goals which were set out by companies for maybe 3 years or 5 years got pretty much accelerated during this
Mm-hmm.
time.
Got it.
And in terms of the other challenge that customer support leaders are facing is offering consistency and personalization in their customer experience, along with bettering their employee experience. So they want to increase both customer and employee loyalty. And conversational AI is one of the channels. Conversational AI, along with RPA, is one of the channels that a lot of large brands have experimented with. And another interesting thing that I've seen happening in the market is, earlier customer support was looked upon as one number, which is 1800 kind of a number, and
Yeah.
customers have to reach there.
Right.
And today it's no more that, right? Brands are offering customer support on Facebook Messenger, on WhatsApp,
Mm-hmm.
on website, through their application, on social media. So it is about offering support to customers where they are, rather than asking them
Correct.
to come to one place. So
Totally.
I see that, the omni-channel customer experience is coming to life, every month. Like today we are launching bots on Google's business messages, which itself
Mm-hmm.
is a fairly new channel, but it has a huge traction already because of the way it is designed. So, like right from Google search or your maps, today you can chat with a business.
Right.
So it is something very new, and Believe me, every 2 days there is something new on my plate. So it is that rapidly changing, and with the customer support leaders having to improve CX while optimizing costs in the short term, they have a lot on their plate, which I believe conversational AI is able to sort of solve for without too much disruption in their already functioning processes.
That's really nice. And it makes me think, right? Like as you mentioned, customer service, when I think of it, I also think immediately, go to that 1800 numbers where, I have to reach out to any brand for some kind of help. And the first thing I'm gonna Google is like some brands, like for example Airtel's customer support number or customer care number, and they direct me to like that 1800 number, and I go call them and solve my query, right? Like most of the times, as you mentioned earlier, that not all queries would require a human to, like to attend the customer, right? Most of the queries can be solved with the bot as well. So what are some of the use cases, right? Like different brands are using these chatbots, right? May it be for marketing, may it be for sales, may it be for like customer support itself, right? Like because Yellow Messenger is not just made for customer support, I believe it's made for much more than that, right? So can you share like a few use cases that like different brands are using like Yellow Messenger for solving like different kind of pain points?
Wait, so see, there are two kinds of communications that a brand does.
Mm-hmm.
One is internal, and the other one is external. So
Right.
when it comes to internal, teams have conversation with their HR team, with their IT and admin team, finance team, and then on the external side, the brand is having conversations with their customers, and on the customer side, they are having conversations on engagement side and on support side largely. So when we look at Yellow Messenger as a platform company, we basically work with customers across industries and offer them solutions across the board in the company. So when I talk about internal automation use cases, we help some of our large enterprises automate their complete HR process. So for example, if you want to know what is the maternity policy, leave policy, if you want to know what are the work from home policies, you don't need to wait for a human to respond over email or have a conversation. You can actually get information on demand. Now, given the work from home situation, let's say you are setting up your VPN at home and you want to reset your password, or you want to get access to certain documents or get some level of access, there is a lot of innovation that has happened on the ITSM automation front as well. But almost 80% of these queries can be orchestrated with a chatbot
Mm-hmm.
with built-in securities and built-in OTP authentication layers, so that let's say if Sunil, you have access to a certain document, and if Vartika is not authorized, Vartika does not get access to that. So there are those human errors which also get evaded by using the chatbot.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, a lot of efficiency comes in, because if the employee is able to get their answers quickly, they are happier and they
Mm-hmm.
are more productive. So that is on the internal automation front. On the external automation front, one of the most popular use cases globally of conversational AI platforms today is for customer support. And the other next use case is for sales and marketing.
Mm-hmm.
So when I look at customer support, a lot of the brands that have worked with us started with simply answering their FAQs. Now, when we look at answering FAQs, there is a lot of legacy document that the bot needs to be integrated with at the back end, so as to give a complete support picture.
Mm-hmm.
And as you can imagine, there are people in the company who may or may not be that fast at grasping all the information. And usually, what happens is then companies start giving canned responses versus targeted responses.
Mm-hmm.
So that is what a bot is able to do in, like, milliseconds, versus somebody putting your call on hold for 45 seconds and then finding an answer which probably does not suit the customer anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So those are efficiencies which are brought in by the customer support automation bots. But that's not it. One thing that we realized is that a lot of customers are more open to being upsold by a bot, because they
Mm-hmm.
don't have the baggage of replying to a person. So we see that people listen to what the bot is trying to pitch to them, because they don't have that baggage that, oh, if I say no to this person, they'll feel bad. And
Yeah.
with that baggage, they don't hear out only. They say, no, 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 we're not looking for a personal loan, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't want to say no to that person. So you upfront try and be negative. Whereas
Got
in a
it.
bot, we've seen people are conversing with the customer support bot itself, because
Mm-hmm.
the customer support bot is able to understand what is their issue, which all pages they've browsed, what are they looking for, and actually give a more consistent and personalized experience to the user. So that is where we see customer support bot not only answering questions, but also being able to upsell. And the second thing where customer support bots come in handy is
Mm-hmm.
like when the agent is answering, they are probably multitasking. So the customer support bots not only answer directly to the customers, but also help agents with the right answers, which they can give to clients or customers. So
Makes
that's
sense.
another interesting way in which our agent assist module is helping
Mm-hmm.
employees perform better, like customer support
Right.
employees perform better. And then on the other layer, we see a lot of sales and marketing automation happening. So we recently ran a campaign with Xiaomi and Asian Paints, wherein when a customer is looking at a TV ad or an outdoor ad, they
Mm-hmm.
can either scan a QR code or give a missed call on a number, and they can be connected to the brand instantly on WhatsApp, because that so it's called click to ad. So you can even run this on Google search. Today what's happening with Google search is that you land you land on a landing page.
Mm-hmm.
From a landing page you have another CTA, so there's a lot of drop off happening. So
Mm-hmm.
why not directly move people from a Google search onto a WhatsApp chatbot or a Facebook chatbot or a PWA chatbot, which can actually have the context of what the customer asked and initiate conversations basis that. So we saw about 98% of the leads being captured. Whereas if
Mm-hmm.
you think of a typical marketing funnel, you end up getting about 1% click, of which 1% maybe at best 8% people filling the form. So
Mm-hmm.
the marketing efficiency and the sales efficiency goes like more than 10x by deploying a chatbot like this.
Got it.
So those are some of the top use cases that come to my mind. But with new brands coming on to us with new
Right.
business challenges, we're always innovating.
Yeah, I think each brand would come to you with like a specific or a very unique use case, and I think Yellow Messenger will definitely solve for that use case, right? Which also brings me to thinking, or this huge debate or this very popular debate which goes on when for any tool AI comes into picture, right? So AI is replacing humans at their jobs, or are they helping humans at their job, right? So when it comes to bot, right? May it be a customer support bot, or may it be a sales bot, or procurement bot, or for anything, right? Like when an AI bot is implemented, right? So according to you and your experience, are these bots like replacing humans from their jobs, or are these bots helping or aiding these humans to perform better and be efficient at their jobs?
Great question. I think everybody feels that AI is taking their jobs away. And while
Mhm.
AI's job is again twofold, one is to improve the experience
Mhm.
of the customer or of the employee, and
Mhm.
the second one is optimize cost in the short term.
Mhm.
So what we see is that customer support is not something which you solve 100 tickets today and you're done. Tickets are
Mhm.
piling up every day. So what conversational AI helps businesses do is to basically answer to the customer in a faster manner so that you can give a better customer experience
Mhm.
and answer these questions, like about if the bot is taking 70% of the load. It also means that it is assisting the agents, and it is also sort of optimizing some sort of costs,
Got it.
which
Mhm.
means that from 100 maybe the team size could decrease. At the same time your queries are not reducing, so you're becoming smarter every day. You are training your bot to answer more and more questions, but the questions are also increasing. And we've seen this with Bajaj as well. Like there is never a time where where the agents are free or the bot is free. The volumes are going up because their business is also going up. So
Yeah.
it is something which will grow in parallel. At the same time, is the bot bringing financial efficiencies to the firm? In many cases it is. For
Mhm.
example, if you go on Domino's website today, you will not find any kind of customer service number. You
Mhm.
have to route it via chatbot, and then there is an escalation that happens if it is required.
Mhm.
And the use case also for Domino's is limited. People are looking for, where is my pizza? Why did I not get the discount? It came after 30 minutes. So there is a lot of mundane work which is lifted off by the bot. and
Mm-hmm.
the more intelligent work is with the team.
Got
So
it.
I would say that it's having a twofold impact on improving the customer experience and CSAT, and optimizing costs in the short term. And when we look at our customers in Southeast Asia and US, they're largely looking at bots to, really offer that consistency and personalization rather than cost optimization first.
Got it. Makes sense. That's really interesting, right? Like you mentioned that like bots are definitely replacing the human jobs, but then at the end of the day, do you think is it good for humans so that they can do like do better or do different jobs which are all the mundane jobs can be given to the bots and all the mundane tasks can be given to the bots and you can focus on really productive tasks in which only humans can do those, right? Or when a customer wants to really talk to a human, right? Like at some point you have to have humans there which are available to talk to customers, right?
Right.
So do you think is it good in a way or what can be done better in this case?
Right. So, like I was mentioning, like customer support leaders have the challenge of even improving their employee experience.
Mm-hmm.
So, a lot of times, chatbots are aiding the customer support agents in giving the right answer. So, for
Got it.
example, if you're looking at my policy has expired
Mm-hmm.
and I want to renew it, but I did not claim any bonus for the last 3 years. Now, for a human to look at this answer might take like some time to go through
Oh,
these
got it.
records,
Mm-hmm.
whereas the bot is giving the human also the all the information on an interface which is user friendly, on
Got it.
demand, so that
Mm-hmm.
he or she can be better at their job. So it is
Makes sense.
assisting, it is making customer experience better overall for the customer and employee.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And I would say that in terms of the percentage job cuts that happen because of deploying AI is very minuscule, because like I
Yeah,
said earlier point, the customer demand across channels is only increasing.
makes
So
sense.
we
Mm-hmm.
deployed this Google Business Messages chatbot for Bajaj Allianz.
Mm-hmm.
So while the chatbot queries on Google Business Messages have increased, it's not decreased on other channels. It just means that
Oh.
the more channels you offer to the customers, the more conversations they want to have. And that is
Mm-hmm.
one of the goals of customer engagement, so that you can
Makes sense.
be engaged with your customers. And in the sense of operational efficiency, when you are looking at conversational AI, it basically brings your legacy systems to life. So, for
Mm-hmm.
example, if you have all your HR records on SAP, the
Mm-hmm.
system is very archaic for you to really interact with. So
Got
it
it.
is actually helping you benefit from the from the invested money in your already legacy platforms also. So
Mm-hmm.
it is adding efficiencies on that level. So for example, at Schlumberger and HR Query, they had a global HR excellence center
Mm-hmm.
based out of Hong Kong. So rather than like getting their queries answered through one team, and they have sort of companies and establishments in 80 plus countries.
Yeah,
So a guy in UK should not wait for a guy in Hong Kong to wake up and give their response. So
totally.
from
Mm-hmm.
177 minutes, the response time is now low to 3 minutes. We're able to connect with people who are deep in the mines, to people who are sitting in offices. So it has really changed the way they had structured or looked at HR, like HR functioning. At the same time, what is better for those people who are working the HR team is that now they are happier customer employees. They don't have to wait too long to really answer, and they can really focus on the other things. And that you would know, like we might be solving for 5 things today, but there are already 20 things waiting on the to-do list.
Yeah,
I
totally.
think the to-do list keeps expanding.
Totally. No, this is really exciting, space to be in as you said, right? Like it's the demand from customer reaching out to brand that's definitely going to keep increasing as more and more brand comes and more channel comes. The use cases also, are gonna grow like, multiple folds, right? As compared to the channels and the customers that is growing. So really great, and I could see great success that you've got with like a lot of your customers worldwide. So yeah, so this has been really insightful and a lot of takeaways for the customer support space, right? So I would love to quickly shift gears to our lightning round. So I have like three questions for you, Vartika, for the lightning round. So first one. So what do you know about your work now that you wish you would have known when you first started?
Wow, interesting ones. I wish I was better prepared for this. But what I know about my work now is that, it's not only impacting end customers, but also everybody in the company. So marketing is, one such field which impacts internal and external at the same time. So for
Mhm.
example, if we won an award, it impacts the employee motivation.
Got
So
it.
I think way back I was looking at marketing more from, customer end. And if somebody told me that I have more customers than the real customers, it would have been very interesting.
Totally, that's a good perspective to look at. Great. So, second one, what did your biggest professional failure teach you?
So, my biggest professional failure would just teach me to handle relationships and people better. And that will flow from really being empathetic and understanding their point of view.
Got
So,
it.
as a marketer, I think I spend a lot more time in understanding processes that other teams are working on and trying to see how best we can align. So, that's been, great learning and has really helped me work with more ease across teams, be it product, be it development, be it engineering or support or sales.
That's nice. And then my last question for the lightning round. What's the number one thing that has helped you shorten your learning curve?
So I think the number one thing is to get into a situation which is messy. So like way back,
Yeah.
I started doing an ad campaign for Big Rock, and it was all very new for me. And my hands were shaking when I was signing the 8 crores check. But I think it's just like just be fearless and have the fear in you, but
Mhm.
just go at things because there is no other better way to learn. If I would have been scared, if I would have not taken some of the calls, I think I would have not grown.
Mhm.
So put yourself into messy situations, put yourself where you think you are not yet there, because that's
Mhm.
the only way to get there.
Totally. That's a really great takeaway in this case. So, yeah, thanks a lot, Vartika, for taking time and coming on the show. It really means a lot, and sharing all these amazing insights about customer support and AI chatbots and Yellow Messenger. So, really great to have done this with you.
Thank you so much, Sunil. It was a pleasure. I loved your lightning rounds. Was totally unprepared for this.
Yeah,
It's great, and I think you're doing a great job building a SaaS podcast which is specific to India. I think we
yeah,
need to get a lot more awareness about SaaS, and with so many SaaS companies, really expanding from the 10 million ARR benchmark. I think it's a good time for India to look at SaaS seriously. A great job, and thank you
yeah.
for having me on your podcast.